Did you watch AEW Dynamite?
Yes, I did.
Did
you watch it?
Yeah. So they opened
Do
up
you
with
have one last thing? Do you have problems with it?
903,000.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit more than last week, right?
I think it's a little bit less than last week. I
A
thought
little bit less.
just
Okay.
tiny, very tiny bit.
Yeah. And they had competition that night, you know.
Yeah.
But I wanted to tell you something. Oh, do you have the same problem with the AEW that you have with Raw that Hulu doesn't show all the matches?
No. I could the Hulu. I for some reason, okay, I can record AEW Dynamite and it records
Right.
the whole show with
Right.
commercials and commercial. I can fast forward through the commercials, right?
Right.
But with Raw and SmackDown, it like records, but the Hulu recorded version comes out after the show. So it's
Right.
because it's commercial free, and I think maybe that's what they do to. I don't know. Maybe I need to record it with the commercials, but if you record it with the commercials, you watch everything. However, you can't fast forward through the commercials. You have
Why
to sit
not?
there for like 3.5 minutes and watch them play
That
out.
sucks. Yeah.
Right. So that's
Yeah.
so I'd say that's like bro, it's like
Yeah.
20 there's no way I'm
Like I like on
Right,
YouTube,
right,
it says,
yeah.
"Oh, you got 5 second commercial," and then when we're gonna hit the skip ad, another 5 second commercial comes out.
Right,
Now they double
right.
up on that. Yeah.
Right. All right. So the show starts off with Orange Cassidy versus Swerve Strickland. He was with Prince Nana. Right. And I mean, how many weeks has Orange Cassidy opened up his match for the AEW International
A
Championship?
lot.
would
Probably
think maybe-
90%.
Right,
Maybe
seems like it,
maybe
right?
to Tony, that's his good luck charm. You know,
Or-
Orange always has a
I
good
don't
match,
know.
and everybody gets into it because they also like his theme music.
Right. But these guys had a good match because Swerve's really good.
Right.
But so going near the end, Swerve rolled Cassie into the ring and went for the house call kick. But Cassie avoided and got another near fall, and Swerve rallied and hit the house call kick and then followed up with a top rope double stomp for another near fall. Then both then traded pin attempts, and Cassie ended up getting the 3 count out of a reversal of pin attempts, right? After 15 minutes of all the things they did. So after the match, Cage, Bishop Kaun, and Toa Leona hit the ring and attacked Cassie.
Bishop who?
Bishop Kaun.
Who?
Kaun. It's him and the other guy, the Toa Leona guy that wrestled against Darby and
Yeah, the two.
Cassie.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So when the light, okay, so this was weird. I don't know why this was necessary. The lights went down, and when the lights turned on, Sting and Darby were standing in the room with baseball bats in hand while the heroes were at ringside. And Sting
Well,
and Alan held
supposedly
Cassie's feet. Like, yeah, I know, but it's like,
Right.
I don't know why they had to do lights off and lights on there. You could just have them come out and get a pop, and like
Right.
you know maybe like get done some physicality and clear the ring because he had 4 guys there, right?
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
This match was really good. It was a little too long for my taste, but very good because you got 2 great workers. I really thought Orange was going to lose, first of all, because I think they're going to give Swerve a push, or it looks like it. And the second one is, if you notice the whole match, and they've been doing this for a couple of weeks, the whole match, the commentators keep going, "Oh, he's got all these injuries, and he's got this back injury, and his knees are bad." And then he had all the tape on his back, and they had some really good false finishes. So I really thought they were going to change the title here.
Right. So Bryan Danielson comes to ringside. He's comes to the broadcast table. He's putting over Okada. So then they have a 6-man match. I don't know why these guys are wrestling each other because like I thought it's really weird. Like the Elite's in an angle with the Blackpool Combat Club, and there's not a lot of episodic storytelling from week to week on this. So it's like standalone match. It's like I don't know, you know. It's like I said, I literally think they just book matches because they think guys are going to have a good match, and they put it on TV regardless of like where it fits in the storyline or whatever. So it's what it comes across. Is that what it comes across as to you?
A little bit, yeah. Yep.
Like, you know, all right. So basically, this match was the Chuck Taylor guy is a lazy thigh slapper. Like he's doing a playful slap. He doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. When I start seeing the thigh slapping, it really aggravates me. There wasn't not a lot in this match, but when the Chuck Taylor guy did it, it didn't fit because these guys are like brawling out there and everything, kind of being physical and stuff. So I was like, you know, I don't know. But basically, Romero caught Moxley in an armbar in the ring, and Beretta dove from the top rope toward Cassioli, hit him with an uppercut. That looked really good. The Moxley somehow he was in a armbar and somehow reversed it into his bulldog choke, and then he got the submission win. It's like I don't know. If they're doing that's like MMA, that was like an impossible reversal into a submission for a win if this was like, and they were doing an MMA exchange. It's like there's no way you're going from the Japanese armbar, which you're supposed to submit to, and rolling over and turning it into a choke. if I'm trying to tell you that somebody, like if you're watching a UFC fight, that a guy had a guy in the armbar or that arm thing for the arm submission, and said, well, that guy ended up losing to a chokehold. You would say, like, how did that possibly happen? It's like impossible.
Well, there
was a very weird finish for this. Go ahead.
Yeah, the only thing that I would think is, okay, the guy's not submitting, his neck is open, and my specialty is choking people out. But but you have to make that up in your own mind to you know what I'm saying, to justify what you just saw.
By the way, this is absurd too. Yuta, okay, gave Taylor the elbows to the head, okay?
Right.
Bro, he gave him like 50 of them.
Oh, yeah,
and I'm like, because the guy's not dead? It's like, bro, that looks so absurd.
Well, I'm not lying. No.
Elbows.
Yeah, I know, bro. I saw it. It was at the end of the match, but it wasn't 50 elbows to the head. It was 50 elbows like to the chest.
Right, make it look like it was absurd. Yeah.
But let me just say this: Danielson was great at commentary again. He's very funny, and bro, for 3 years I've been pointing out a lot of the things that Utah needed to improve. Starting from, I thought they pushed him too fast in main events and he wasn't ready. Remember that I always used to say that, to me, you couldn't distinguish him from the other 30 guys on the roster because they all do the same moves that get a pop, right? Also, another thing is, when he didn't have a beard, he looked like he was 15 years old,
right?
And even though I'm critiquing him, people think I'm bearing him. No, I'm not bearing him. I'm just telling you what he needs to improve on. And now I will finally say that he's really improved. You know,
he looks very physical, but that was stupid doing that spot at the end,
Right. Yeah, that was. Yeah. But good stuff from him. I'm glad that he's has improved, and good match. And really cool of Moxley and the other guy who could easily take the pin, giving the rub to this guy by him taking it. And I think that's 2 weeks in a row.
Okay, so this is weird, all right? And I don't know why they didn't do this from the stage and why this wasn't a live verbal confrontation. But Hangman Page, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson both from backstage, and Page said Dynamite would be held in Washington, D.C. where the show started. Page challenged Moxley, Castagnoli, and Yuta to face him and the Young Bucks without help from Danielson or Kaneshita Takeshita. Danielson, who was still on commentary, said the Blackpool Combat Club has never backed down for a challenge and accepted the match. And his cover labeled Page of the Jacksons by their Hung Bucks name. So, I don't know. What'd you think of this?
Yeah, it doesn't get me excited to see whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So next is one of the longest interview segments in the history of professional wrestling. MJF comes out.
Super long.
Yeah. He started with some cheap heat. He said so much stuff. I'm just going to go to the bullet points here. See, MJF said he got as much tape on Cole as he could, and he said he watched him because the hottest free agent in the world. Oh, wait, hang on. Did he come out? Okay, wait, hang on.
You did say that.
I got ahead of myself because this segment was so long.
Very long.
And, bro, written, okay? It's okay. I'm going to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Bro, this is 14 paragraphs of written verbiage.
How long was it? Does it say?
The segment? No, because it was interviews. It was at least 20 minutes. It went on forever. Okay, but basically, here's the bullet point. All right, MJF ripped him a new, but he ripped him kind of personally because he basically said he doesn't, basically insinuated he doesn't work out.
That he needs a tan.
He needs a tan. He said basically Vince, the reason he had to leave WWE is because Vince McMahon didn't look at him as a top guy. And he said basically that he called him, what do you call it? So then basically he said that, what was the final? Oh yeah, he called him Keith Lee's manager. Right. So he ripped the guy a new, okay?
Right. Which is what he's supposed to do.
Right. Then Cole had someone pass him a microphone and said, really, is that the best you've got? And he said MJF verbally destroys people. He was coming across like an internet troll. Then Cole said he ignored the Britt Baker part because he's pretty sure she could beat the hell out of MJF. then Cole wondered why MJF was so obsessed with other people's relationships. They recalled MJF's girlfriend leaving him. Cole labeled MJF a world-class douchebag. Cole said the body thing is old news. He spoke about his body at work and said that MJF can't touch him. Then Cole said they could go backstage and put in a couple of cups and see who is natural and who is not. It's like,
Right.
this is like going on. This interview was just going off the rails, right? In my opinion, right? Then Cole assumed MJF didn't want to do that. Then Cole spoke about he was respecting the locker room and nobody respects MJF. Then MJF said he was crying all of his money and how he's not respected, and that's an awful lot of tough talk coming from Keithley's manager. He had the line there. He said, "You won't find me because I'm better than you and you know it." And MJF got fired up and said he would fight Cole any day of the week, would beat his ass. Attaboy champ, Cole responded, "It looks like we got ourselves a match." So this is an awful lot of verbiage to get to announcing that they're going to have a match at some point. So,
Yeah.
What'd you think of this?
Yeah, I just thought at the end when it was Cole and him going back and forth, that was good. You could have cut out probably the rest of it. I didn't know this, and I don't know if you did, but I read, and I think it was on Twitter, that when MJF said, "You know how they make me cool?"
Yeah, they ring the bell.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know that Adam Cole had said that in NXT to Karrion Kross.
Yeah, Kross, right? Yeah. I mean, these guys are getting very too clever for their own good, callbacks like that. So I don't know. So Hook and so this is actually funny. Okay, footage aired at Double or Nothing of Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, and Hook beating Ethan Page, Austin Gunn, and Colton Gunn. Excalibur called that Matt won the right to take control of Page's contract. Then backstage, the Hardys made Ethan Page apologize to Isaiah Cassidy and shake his hand. And Matt said he wants to make Page a better man. This actually was pretty lame, but Ethan Page was actually pretty funny in this, in the short time that he was in this, I thought. Because he was acting all dejected, and stuff.
Right. Do I got to apologize to him now? I'm sorry.
Right, yeah. So then Hook and Jungle Boy wrestle Jalistico and Preston Vance in a Texas Tornado match. And I don't know why these guys were having a Texas Tornado match, because they always have to. But the next thing you know is Preston Vance was like bleeding like a stuck pig out there. I don't know how it cut. Did you see how he
well, the guy's supposed to hit him with a chain, right?
Yeah, Hook wrapped a chain around his fist and leapt from the barricade and hit Vance, who came up bleeding heavily. Oh, that's what happened. I made me miss that spot. I fast-forwarded through a couple of here. So then Vance started choking Hook with the chain like he was hanging him, and then Perry hit Vance with the chair Then Hook suplexed Vance off the apron through two tables that were set up on the floor, and then Perry DDT'd Jalisco into a chair inside the ring. Then Jose ran in and took his shirt off, and Hook approached him from behind and put him in the red drum submission hold, and Perry put Jalisco in the snare trap and got the win. So I don't that blood and violence and tables. I don't know.
Why's this guy taking his shirt off? Oh, look, I work out. But anyways, let me just say this: like a lot of other pairings there, Vance and Jalisco make a very odd pair.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I know they're part of the Ingobernables, which is his brother's group, but they just look very odd together. And just like you, why are they having a Texas Tornado match so soon? Shouldn't they build to that? And the problem is Vance and Jalisco, they haven't been built. They have very little heat, and they think that Jose generates a lot of heat on, because he's been on TV a lot, but he doesn't really,
Right.
I kind of like Jack and Hook as a tag team, but they do so infrequently, and I definitely thought the blood was unnecessary. Why are you bleeding? This is like their second match together, I think.
I can't wait. So next is next you have Don Callis with Takeshita, and Takeshita wrestles Damon Ace, and basically just clobbers this guy in a minute and a half. Then Don has Takeshita, and they're cutting a promo. And it's just another typical generic basic promo by Don, but he was getting such good heat. That's all you really needed here. And he took credit for everything the Elite has done. And Callis said Omega's a cancer. You cut out cancer. And Callis said he and his family would cut the Elite out of the company for good. Once again, really good heat. So
he had Nuclear, Gamma Ray, Juventud Guerrera, and Teddy Hart heat.
Right. This is lame. This is lame. So Alex Marvez stood outside of Christian Cage's dressing room and heard a bunch of commotion. Cage emerged.
Did you say Joe was going to be on the show soon?
He said he's on a call, so he might be doing one of those advertiser call things. So, do we miss him?
No.
Okay. So now Alex Marvez stood outside of Cage's dressing room and heard a bunch of commotion. Cage emerged and spoke about Arn Anderson costing the TNT Championship during the ladder match at Double or Nothing. Then Cage said Brock Anderson got his father a great gift for Father's Day to show Brock Anderson was laid out by Cage and Luchasaurus. I think he had color. Didn't he have color too here?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, once again, unnecessary because the color wasn't that good.
Right.
I
mean, you could buy fake blood and put it all over your face. You don't have to. Let me give
you some Powell's POV here. The poor guy, because I like Alex Marvez.
Right.
I didn't think we see worse acting in a major pro wrestling television show than what we get from Von Wagner on NXT. But Alex Marvez just made Wagner look like Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really vicious heat right there.
Yeah. That's how you bury somebody. That's a burial. Yeah.
All right. So next, okay, so we still haven't heard from Jade Cargill, who lost her championship. Okay.
Right.
Chris Statlander is having another championship match against Anna Jay, who's out there with Matt Menard. Anna Jay is very green. So this match was kind of like, I don't know, this is all right. And Chris Statlander goes over in 8 minutes and 20 seconds. There was no doubt who's going to win this. What did you think of this? Anything?
Yeah, Statlander and Anna Jay, I thought the match was a little bit too long, right. Just like last week's. That Statlander with him. But I will say this. Jay has improved a lot. She went from being green and some botches, and she's looked way better than before. Still green, but looking way better. She is improving. The match was all right, nothing special. Statlander can flat out go.
All right, so it's interesting. They listed some matches for next week's Dynamite, and one of them is going to be a. Wait a minute, when did they announce this? Oh no, okay, so earlier. Okay, so for Excalibur listed the matches for Rampage. One of the matches for Rampage is Britt Baker versus Sky Blue versus Mercedes Martinez. I didn't even know she was still there, by the way. And Nyla Rose in a 4-way for the AEW Women's Championship shot. And then they go to Toni Storm and Ruby backstage, and they said they would face the greatest NWA champion who ever lived. Did this get you excited for this angle?
No, but I will say that at least Toni Storm looks a lot more comfortable being a heel than she was as a face.
Right, but they're still not saying much in their promos.
No, bro, if I've said it a million times, a promo is to make you interested in the match. If you haven't, if you don't show any interest after the promo hasn't done its job or the person, you know?
Right. So then we're doing Jay White versus Ricky Starks. This is Jay White's best match they've had so far, but they go, I guess because they need to put him over because oh, by the way, earlier in the night, Tony Khan made an announcement like everybody thought it would be a big deal that Punk and FTR would be facing Jay White, Juice Robinson, and who else? Was Samoa Joe for the sick man? Yeah, okay, right. But he made the announcement like it was supposed to be like some big deal, and I'm like. Jay White,
let me speak on
Jay
that.
White just robbed him. I was like, go ahead.
Yeah, bro. The Khan announcement again was not a big deal. A 6-man with Punk. Punk was already announced last week in San Diego.
Right.
He should have one of the commentators or interviewers, like your favorite Alex Marvez, do that, and Tony do the really actually important ones. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So this is weird. At the end, they're going back and forth. We had a ref bump. And now nowhere Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn ran out and hit the 310 to Yuma, they call that move, on Starks, and then exited the ring before the referee recovered. The White hit Starks with the Brave Worm finisher, got the 3 count. And then it's just a very weird way to end the show. They showed Juice Robinson coming out, he's applauding, and he ran to the ring and taunted Starks, and he just raises the arm of Jay White. Like that was like the close of the show with the broadcast team wondering why the Guns got involved.
Right, even the commentators were asking why. So maybe they'll explain it later. But it looks like they're going to do something with Starks and I don't know who against the Guns. That would be the only reason But I just think Starks should be wrestling bigger names.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Too. And it looks like Tony thinks that this Jay White guy is a big name, obviously.
Right. And they also think, it also looks like Juice Robinson and Jay White are going to fight FTR. But Joe said something last week, which could be true. He said that that Starks has been buried since he went to visit Cody at the Rumble.
Right. Yeah, that's not. You might be right. Yeah. Why would he have done that?
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of a rookie move, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. Let me read you something, and I don't know how true this is, and I was hoping Joe was here. That's why I basically wanted him to check this out. But it says, and let me read this because I actually copy and pasted it here. It said, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Di? It says,
Yeah.
AEW sold out Washington, D.C. for the debut of Dynamite in 2019. I guess it's like 19,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
3.5 years later, they've only sold 2,000 tickets in the same arena. And it says that last year in a smaller venue where the WNBA plays in the G League, the place holds 4,000, configured it for 3,000, and they still didn't sell out. Can somebody check that information out for us and send it to the mailbag, please?
Well, bro, let me tell you what these attendance figures eerily look like.
Right.
WCW 1999 to 2000 and 2001. You know, when they started taking over, and
Right.
then all of a sudden we were doing great houses in 97, 98, and 99, and then Austin and The Rock started going. Then our houses, you'd go to the town next time, and
Plus,
be
there was a lot of
lower, you know?
and there was a lot of infighting in WCW, which there
Right.
wasn't over there. They were all banding together to try to stay alive. Because I remember, I think Vince Russo told me this once, that it got so bad that they even took out the, the Sparklets water thing,
Right.
water cooler.
Yeah.
They were taking out the water coolers. Imagine that. Yeah. So I just thought it was an overall better show than usual, but a lot of things still frustrate me.
I know. You know what the funny thing is? Alvarez referred to this as an excellent show. And I'm like, God, bro, excellent shows to me have forward storylines, have episodic storytelling and stuff like. I don't know.
Right. At the end of the day, okay. So at the end of the day, we just went over the whole show.
Right.
What matches are you excited to see?
Right. I'm not not a lot. You know, it's like
the only one I kind of like is the MJF Cole because I think there'll be good promos and good matches.
So that's been our AEW review.
All right.